What's up guys, welcome back to another R2S video, and in today's video is going to be very exciting because Rook and I will be predicting the Champions League winner of this season. As you guys know, in a few hours from when this video is uploaded, the first two quarterfinals of the Champions League will be starting, and we got some very good games. And yeah, in this video, Rook and I will be showing you guys and giving our opinion on which team we think will be going through and which team will win the Champions League this season. But before we go into the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't done that already. And if you guys want to see these videos for the Conference League and Europa League as well, make sure to leave a comment down below. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So we went to the Uefa bracket, and we can see the clubs that are still in the Champions League at the moment in here, and we see the bottom split and the top split, I mean, and the bottom split. And something you guys can already see, the bottom split is way harder than the top split. So in my opinion, it's going to be a very interesting final, and I would say on paper one of the bottom teams should be winning this Champions League. Just depends on the team that goes through. So we got Atletico, Dortmund, Paris, Barcelona, Arsenal, Bayern, Real Madrid and Manchester City. And let's just start with the top group, and I think these four teams are very happy to be in the top section of the bracket, because honestly all of these four teams could potentially go through. And I think on Wednesday we see Atletico face Dortmund at home first. So in Madrid, I want to say Dortmund have no chance, even though Dortmund have been doing quite decent recently, keeping a few clean sheets or at least not conceding as much. But I want to say Atletico, with their experience with players like Griezmann, Oblak, Morata, are very great players who have played a lot of games. I want to say the first game they will win at least like 2-1, maybe 1-0, maybe 2-1. And I want to say this might be a little bit controversial, but at home, Dortmund, we know with the yellow wall, of course, they could potentially go through here. And I want to say defensively, we've seen them win 2-0 against Bayern recently, with Hummel, Schlotterbeck, Kobel or Meyer being fantastic. Forward with Malen and Brandt and Fulkrug, they've been decent as well. So I low-key want to go with Dortmund, but I want to say it depends on the first game. If Atletico manages to smash Dortmund like 2-0 or 3-0 at home in the first leg, Dortmund have no chance. But if Dortmund manage to either draw away from home in Madrid in the first game, or sneak a result, like either they lose 2-1, 3-2, I think if they go into their home game with only one goal down, Dortmund have a chance of going through. And just for the sake of it, I want to be a little bit different. I want to back Dortmund in this year's Champions League. So I want to pick them over Atletico Madrid, even though I want to say Atletico Madrid, with all their experience, should be going through here. I want to go for a little surprise very early in this video, and I want to go with Dortmund to go through to the semi-finals. Then the next question will be, who will Dortmund be facing in their semi-finals? Because we got Paris and Barcelona. We know Barcelona in the league aren't doing amazing. They're like miles behind Real Madrid already, and there's no chance for them to win the La Liga. Xavi also leaving end of the season. They have been having loads of injuries with Frankie, Pedri, Gavi. Like, their whole midfield is gone. Attacking wise with Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, it's been decent. Defensive wise, Koundé, Araujo and stuff like that haven't been the best, haven't been as good as last year. But yeah, same goes for Paris. In the league they are first, but we know Ligue 1 Mickey Mouse competition isn't the best. But yeah, with Mbappe, who's leaving, is he playing? Is he being benched? Is he getting subbed after 60 minutes? So two teams that are, in my opinion, struggling a bit. And that makes this quarterfinal really interesting. For me personally, I think this will be a game with loads of goals, as both teams lack a bit defensively. So I do reckon the first game will be like a 2-2 maybe in France, in Paris. And I want to say Barcelona have a good chance of going through here if they manage to at least score one, but it depends on how hard Paris will go in the first leg. And I also think Paris, if they manage to actually beat the hell out of Barcelona in the first leg, like winning 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, Barca have no chance of coming back, especially, or at least not this season in my opinion, because it's just not as good, and I don't think there's a lot of belief from the team there. So I'm going to not talk too much about this quarterfinal, because the next 2 games are going to be more important than these. But I want to go Paris to go through here, which means we've got a semi-final of Dortmund against Paris Saint-Germain, which we will be getting to in just a second. We still got 2 interesting quarterfinals to go through. We got Arsenal against Bayern, where I think Arsenal played the first game at home, and Real against City, where Real played the first game at home. And for me, the first quarterfinal seems to be quite simple. Bayern just aren't in form. They have a guy called Harry Kane who seems to be cursed, even though he scores 30-40 goals every single year. Arsenal this season under Arteta have been amazing, especially after the winter break. They went on a little training camp, and since that they've been doing phenomenal, scoring goals, defensively been quite strong. The fact that they've rested a lot of people last week against Luton in the midweek as well means they have a fully fit team. Hopefully Saka's back as well, because he got subbed off injured in the weekend. But for me, Arsenal is a no-brainer to go through in this quarterfinal against Bayern, because Bayern defensively are just whack. Attacking wise, they could potentially score 1 or 2 against Arsenal, but I do think Arsenal will finally get their revenge, because we all know Bayern have smashed Arsenal I think it was 6-7 years ago, a few times in a row. So this is the time for Arsenal to get their revenge on Bayern München. Then the last quarterfinal, we got Real Madrid against Manchester City. And as a Liverpool fan, I don't like to back Man City, and I want to say Madrid, with their experience, with Kroos, Modric, with the new boys Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Vini, etc., they have a good chance of going through. And City this year, defensively, it's not as good as the past few years, which means that might open some space for a Vini, for a Rodri, even a Brahim Diaz, who has been doing very, very well this season. And of course, we cannot forget about Federico Valverde. I want to say Madrid get a decent result at home the first leg, and then I can't see them, with their experience, giving it away against a decent Manchester City, especially with De Bruyne, who seems to be incredibly in form again, but Haaland is missing those chances. And I think those chances that Haaland will be missing will be cruel for them, and I want to back Madrid in here. Even though I do have a Barca flag behind me, I need to back Real Madrid in here in the semi-final, or in this quarterfinal. So if these predictions go through, which I could be wrong with all 4 of them, this is just my personal opinion and what I want to see, because I do think these semi-finals are extremely exciting. I think if these semi-finals go through, we will see semi-finals with loads and loads of goals. I think for the first semi-final, Dortmund against Paris, Dortmund and Paris, it's gonna be a goal fest if this happens. And I think this is a very, very tough semi-final, but I do think that Paris Saint-Germain will be going through in here if it comes this far, and Mbappe will be carrying them into the final. And the final that will be happening, in my opinion, I'm just gonna go over this really, really quickly, because I don't think I can talk as much about over the semi-final, because the quarters haven't been played yet, and this is just a prediction. But I want to say, if the semi-final is Arsenal against Madrid, Madrid will be smashing them just because of their experience. And I also want to say that Mbappe, in the final against probably his new club, will be losing the Champions League final. And I think Real Madrid will be winning the Champions League final this season if they beat Man City. I still want to say either Arsenal, Bayern, Real or City will be winning this Champions League, as they are on the tougher side of the bracket. And I want to say as well, these games are going to be really, really exciting to watch as a neutral football fan as well. The upside of the bracket, I don't want to see Atletico go through, as they just play boring football. But with the experience, they do have a chance of beating Dortmund, of course. And I want to say Paris against Barcelona. If Mbappe starts, he's going to score loads and loads of goals against this Barcelona team. So I think Paris goes through, but I think they will be losing the final once again. And I want to go with Real Madrid to win the Champions League. So guys, this was my prediction. If you guys enjoyed my prediction, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, of course. And now let's move over to the one and only Rockmeister and see who he has, or what team he has predicted to win the Champions League.
So there was an interesting prediction from Salah's side, but now I'm gonna show you who the real Champions League winner is gonna be. So it's gonna be all about the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals, of course. Atletico Madrid versus Dortmund, the first quarterfinal in this bracket here. I think Atletico Madrid has the experience from the Champions League. You know, I think they know how to play. They play pretty defensively as well, and are just on those counters. And I think Atletico has a big chance of going through, but Dortmund has been doing pretty decent. Hummels and Schlotterbeck and the goalkeeper, it's a pretty good triangle if you ask me, and attacking wise it's not even that bad from Dortmund's side. I think Dortmund is gonna go through here, just because I think they're more in that momentum, you know. I think they're finally back on track, and this is their priority, honestly. Atletico Madrid, I mean, they definitely have a chance, let's just say that. I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup, but I do think Dortmund is going to go through here. Then we got Paris Barcelona. I mean, memories are already coming up, and I think it's going to be it's going to be a tough one. I think a lot of people are going to say Paris is going to win this easily, but I don't think so. I think Barcelona might have their luck on their side, and I will actually be going for Barcelona, because I think everyone is going for Paris Saint-Germain, but Barcelona is going to do something crazy. I think everyone is expecting Mbappe to carry Paris Saint-Germain in this game, but personally, I think Barcelona have a chance to actually go through. So there's the first semi-final from my side. I think a lot of people are gonna call me crazy, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Then Arsenal versus Bayern München. Guys, Bayern haven't been that great. To me, it's already almost a surprise that they're in the quarterfinals. If we look at the Bundesliga, man, they are doing shit, honestly. I'm sure they're still in a decent position, but the last few games have been awful from Bayern München's side. So I will be going for Arsenal, because they have been doing really good, and I think they're just a better side in this matchup. I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup though, and I personally hope as well that Arsenal goes through there. Then we got a really big matchup, Real Madrid against Manchester City, guys. Wow. Let's just say that. Wow. I think that game, man, this matchup, this leg is gonna be interesting. I almost don't know, but I made a decision. I think Manchester City is gonna go through. Real Madrid has an insane team, right? But to me, Manchester City is, man, even their bench is insane. The amount of players they have, it's insane. Kevin De Bruyne has been insane as well, you know. I think it's gonna be a very close one, but I do think Manchester City is gonna go through there. So then we have two interesting semi-finals, and I think if we look at this already, right, the bottom bracket is way more interesting than the higher bracket, because Dortmund Barcelona is, I mean, it's a semi-final I don't think anyone will expect. That's also why I'm going for it. I want to be a little bit different, because in the end, guys, football is unpredictable. If we look at the matchup there, I do think Dortmund have a better chance of going through, and I would actually love to see Dortmund in the final as well. So I will be going for Dortmund, but I mean, I'm doubtful, man. If I look at these clubs now, I can. It's strange because I do see them going in the semi-finals, but if we look at a final, right, Atletico Madrid and Paris are way better finalists, I think, to actually be able to win that final, maybe from an Arsenal or Manchester City. But I think I will be going for Dortmund. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Barcelona is actually gonna do in all these games, because Barcelona haven't been that great, of course. But then for the second semi-final, Arsenal against Manchester City, I think it's even gonna be close. I think it's gonna be close, but I will be going for Manchester City. I think Manchester City's team is just so good at the moment, and sure, they're able to concede, but man, if you have the perfect starting 11, I think Manchester City is gonna score goals and win those games. So I think, guys, can I just say, if I get this prediction right, I should get like a prize, honestly, because I don't think many people will predict like this. I want it to be a little bit different, and this is how I'm gonna do that, because again, football is unpredictable. So in the final, Dortmund against Manchester City, guys. I don't want to be boring, guys. I'm not a huge fan of Manchester City or something, but come on, you guys have to admit their team is insane, right? I think Dortmund would make a chance defensively, but I think Manchester City is just their team is so strong. I will be going for Manchester City. I honestly, guys, I honestly hope it doesn't happen, okay? I hope Manchester City don't win the Champions League, but it is a prediction of mine. I think they have a huge shot of winning it. If Real Madrid win from Manchester City, then I would say Real Madrid have a huge shot of winning it. It's just interesting to see the biggest matchup, in my opinion, in the quarterfinals with Real Madrid and Manchester City. But yeah, if I would, my preference, I would love to see Arsenal, Dortmund or Barcelona win the Champions League. But I don't think it's gonna happen. So guys, that's my prediction. Let me know what you guys think of my prediction, of Salah's prediction. Call me an idiot if you want. I don't mind, you know. My football knowledge is not the best, but again, football is unpredictable, and I think sometimes being a little bit different is nice. Let us know who you think will win the Champions League in the comments, because I'm really curious about that as well. And then guys, we want to thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe on our channel, and we'll see you guys in one of our next videos. Ciao.